guys are not it. As Nene said, is it Peter or Patricia? As a guy, why are you messy? You can be so many things in this world as a man and you choose to be messy. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another Love Island review. Guys, today was a cheeky, what, 1 hour? Let's give it 1 hour 20 if I'm going to be honest with you. Well, to be honest, with all the breaks, it's definitely an hour itself. But I won't lie, I do feel like today's episode was actually okay. The Snog Marry Pie game, I usually don't like that game, but today's one came with a little twist. I said, all right, let's get into it. So a lot for us to unpick and also to unpack. So as I usually and always say, actually no, before I get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who welcomed me back. I really appreciated not only the love on yesterday's review, but also the follows. Thanks for following me on Instagram, guys. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. It feels good to be back, and let's get these reviews pumping. So as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. We are on the road to 30k. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number three, as I usually and always say, please get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. Today I have a red grape juice. Very refreshing. And let us get into today's very long review because there's a lot to cover. So let's start off with Abby and Mitch talking about the whole Ella B situation. Mitch, I won't even lie, as much as I know I have to do these reviews, I kind of just want them to wrap up this storyline. This Ella B, Mitch and Abby triangle that's been going on has been taking up screen time. I feel like the only thing I can truly say is that Mitch is very scary. He's been scary since episode 1. I don't know why well, some people are only just realizing this now, but Mitch is weird. Okay, guys? I've never seen someone turn their head, twist and turn, apologize, do the same thing, do something crazy, apologize. It's enough. I'm so sorry. But the thing with Mitch is like, he does nonsense, but at the same time it's entertaining. I don't know what it is. But of course, you guys know they ended up having a conversation and he was saying that he feels like he's been forcing things with Ella B. And now he really wants Abby, now that he's had a lot more time to think about things. I'm just so over Mitch. I don't know what someone even tweeted, I don't think Mitch even knows his next move. Okay, so of course we'll briefly move on to Ella and Tyreek. They were just having a conversation based on the argument that took place in yesterday's episode, and long story short, they ended up hashing things out. And Ella did also say in her confessionals that she does feel like they are very similar. 100% they are very similar. I feel like we are literally 6 weeks in. They've been together from the jump. They've gone through twists and turns and hurdles and dips and all these different things in between, and I definitely do see them in the finals. And I just feel like we're just too close to the finals for them to start acting like they're gonna get to know other people. There's really no time for that. Now let's move on to Ella B and Mitch having a conversation. Of course, he ended up telling her that he really likes Abby and he really doesn't want to move mad, and Ella was saying that she doesn't want to be part of a triangle. And of course he asked sorry for more time, and she said, yeah babe, I'm not gonna force you, right? So she was like, yeah babe, I'm not gonna force you. And then the gag is, and this is just the truth, Ella B is actually not as interested in Mitch as he thinks, and the truth is she's just managing him because she can't get Tyreek, and Tyreek is the person that she initially wanted. But the truth of the matter is they need to wrap up this storyline. Tired and over it, sorry. Mitch is actually okay. Abby is actually okay. I'm gonna get into her soon as well, but it's actually okay. And Ella is okay. Everyone just needs to rest. That's the honest truth. Now, of course, we'll move on to bedtime. A few conversations that took place before bedtime. Starting off with Mitch talking to Abby. He said that he told Ella that he's completely deaded it. And Abby was like, the ball's in your court. It's given lies because you didn't actually dead it. You said you wanted to get to know both of them. You can't do that, Mitch. I mean, this is a small villa. The girls are going to talk. You can't say you done something when you didn't actually do it. When you specifically told the girl that you still want to get to know her because your head is fried and you need more time. Something isn't adding up. Of course, Scott was talking to the guys as well. He said he's a bit confused, but of course, Abby closed it off with him and now she wants to give it a chance, so he's going to give it a chance as well. The truth of the matter is, guys, is as long as Abby is coupled up with Scott, she's sadly going to stay in that villa because the public, sorry, like Scott so much that they don't want to let him go. But I just kind of feel like with the way she mugged him off, I don't know why Scott is entertaining it, but I feel like maybe he just doesn't have a choice at this point, which is quite sad. Let's move on to Abby. She was talking to Jess about how she's been so mugged off, and that Jess was saying, yeah, you got to make him chase, babe. I'm so over this entire storyline. Like, what is it? What is it going to be and who's it going to be? Like, they're actually wasting screen time. Amber says she's sleeping outside. I low-key forget that teenager is still in the villa. No shade, guys. I know we've all been teenagers. Wow. Am I getting old? Anyway, I know some of you are probably teenagers as well, and that's okay. But I just feel like, once again, she is really young for the show. And, of course, bedtime, Jess was cuddling with Sammy, saying that I just feel like what's been happening has brought us much closer. The truth of the matter is that situation is above me now. I don't know how many times we need to speak about it, how many times we need to raise awareness. I don't know, but the whole Jess and Sammy situ, like I said, I feel like just because we are nearing the end of the season, it's very convenient for them to stay together. I really do like Jess, but I feel like Sammy has just been so muggy and said so many rude and interesting things over the past couple of weeks. I can't let it go, because you literally told us you weren't attracted to this girl and that she's this and she's that. I'm not her type. She's mine. It's rude and very disrespectful. So sadly, I'm not here for it. Now let's move on to the following morning, starting off with Abby saying to Ella, I feel like you need to speak to Mitch because it's not looking great. I can't believe I still have to review the storyline because this is all they're feeding us today. What is Abby playing at? I genuinely feel like Abby and Mitch work together because they're both very interesting characters and individuals in the villa. They need to stop fighting wherever they have. But of course, Abby was now talking to Scott, and she was kind of like giggling, almost like trying to really make it known that, yeah, we're having a good time. And the guys were speaking to Mitch at the same time, like, oh, bro, like, are you not bothered? Are you affected? He was just like, no, I don't care about it. But I just feel like, once again, Abby said, and she literally mugged Scott off. I don't understand where all of a sudden all this love and care and affection and giggling and smiling and cuddling is coming from. Yeah, it's low-key given she just wants to try and max out her options. And like I said, sadly, I don't feel like Scott has anyone else that he can even try and get to know, because I know he ain't going to be that teenager. Okay, yeah. Now let's move on to Mitch talking to Zach about how he feels about Abby, and he said that he's moved on, but he needs to speak to Ella because he feels like he sees more of a future with Ella. That makes no sense. And once again, Mitch is being messy, and we've been saying this. Mitch is messy, and no one wants a messy guy. Guys, messy guys are not it. As Nene said, is it Peter or Patricia? As a guy, why are you messy? You can be so many things in this world as a man, and you choose to be messy. I cannot respect it. I'm so sorry. Be a man. I'm so sorry. I don't understand what Mitch is doing. Like, it's almost like he's glitching in 4K. That's how I'm seeing it. He's glitching. 1 minute he's telling us this, the next minute he's telling us this, the next minute he's doing this, the next minute he's doing that. Like, make up your mind. We're literally 6 weeks in and nothing solid has come from you. I'm scared. Okay, I'm very scared. Now let's move on to Ella and Abby speaking about, of course, what Abby said earlier, i.e. you and Mitch need to have a conversation. And Ella was saying that, oh, of course, Ella ended up mentioning to Abby that, oh, but it's really weird that he's saying all those things to you because he told me the other day that when you recoupled up with Scott, that he got clarity from your conversation. Abby was like, really? Did he really say that? Wow. Wow, he really said that. I cannot believe he said that. So they were just having that conversation. Mitch and Kady and Uzi were also having a convo at the same time. And Kady was like, you know, do you think they're talking about you? Mitch was like, yeah, he does. And then Kady said, okay, if you had to pick someone right now who you want in your bed, who would you want? And of course, he ended up saying, hold on, Kady said, I think... yeah, he ended up saying Ella. Kady ended up laughing, and I literally done the same and chuckled at home because I don't understand. Like I said, guys, Mitch is literally glitching, and I don't even know if I can review him anymore because he's just gonna continue glitching till this season ends. I don't know why he acts like that. And also, as my cousin tweeted as well, my cousin tweeted that they need to wrap up the storyline in the next 5 minutes. And 5 minutes ended a while ago, so I'm hoping that storyline doesn't make it to our screens forever. Okay, we're done. We are tired. We are bored. It is okay. Now, of course, Whitney ended up getting a text that it was time for the Snog Marry Pie game. And as I said before, guys, I don't usually like this game, but the twists and the turns in this challenge, it was given all that I needed to give. So let us get into the game, cover some of the bits as well of the kind of like spicy bits, I guess, and also speak about who everyone decided to Snog, Marry and Pie. Side note, people just don't... My thing is, this season has literally been running for ages, and I don't actually feel like anyone plays this game outside of Love Island because there really isn't any need. But the truth of the matter is that everyone knows that you're supposed to kiss your girl, marry your bestie, and then just pie whoever you want. That's just it just makes perfect sense. But people are acting like they've never seen this game before. You're never like, okay, let's get into it. Okay, yeah, let's just get into it. So of course, Josh ended up snogging. By the way, I low-key forgot he was in the villa. We need a zumping soon. It's okay, he can go. But Josh snogged Kady, he married Abby, and he pied Jess. Zach snogged Kady. Molly turned away, I won't lie, and I don't blame her, but at the same time, I'm going to get, in fact, let me wait, because I'm going to get into that entire storyline at the end, given the conversation that happens. And Zach as well, the way he was raising his voice at Whitney in today's episode, I'm going to use to take it down a couple notches, okay? Because I don't know who you're talking to. But of course, Zach ended up marrying Molly, and he said, I think there could be a future there. Will it end the marriage? Who knows? And then she was looking a bit like, and sorry guys, I don't know why I had done that. And of course, he ended up pieing Ella. Now, Mitch ended up snogging Ella B. I won't lie, she low-key looked like she was pushing him off her. It was just giving like, yeah. Do you want to break her neck? I actually don't know. He ended up marrying Kady, and even Abby, when he done that, Abby was like, he better not come to me with that ring. And then he ended up pieing Abby. What made me scream was, I wrote it down, was he said, I decided to pie this girl because she's giving me nothing but headaches for the past 4 days. I'm sorry, that is absolutely hilarious. Abby was definitely trying hard not to care, but we could definitely tell that she did care about that. Now let's move on to Uzi. Uzi, by the way guys, I know I call him Bobby Pins, but Uzi actually does seem quite sweet. And I don't even say bobby pins to be shady. I just still don't understand why those bobby pins are in there, because if you really wanted your hair to lay flat anyway, you could have just maybe used mousse, maybe like a headband, like a nightcap, something at night at least. But the bobby pins just, I don't know, maybe it's given, you know, eccentric, you know what I mean, like, you know, creative. So yeah, but anyway, bobby pins, we'll just call them bobby pins, but bobby pins ended up kissing Whitney, he married Kady, and he pied Ella 1. And Tyreek ended up kissing Ella 1, marrying Jess, and he ended up pieing Ella 2. He literally nipped it in the bud. He was like, I'm pieing this girl because she's trying to cause drama with that. She said this and said that, blah, 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 blah. So I won't lie, Tyreek is definitely getting points in Ella 1's books. I can say that for a fact. And he nipped it in the bud. Basically, babe, I know you tried to come to this villa to get at me, but I'm actually not interested, so you need to let it go. Of course, Scott ended up snogging Abby. He married Whitney, saying that she's his best friend in the villa. Guys, I won't lie, I genuinely did love the Scott, Whitney and Catherine trio. They were literally just the best. Absolutely loved it. And then he ended up pieing Ella. One thing about Scott is Scott does forgive, but he does not forget. Okay, he pied Ella basically because of what she said during Casa Amor, and he said Ella who, because you remember when Catherine was kissing Ellen, she was like Scott who. So I won't lie, it's giving a good memory, babe. Absolutely love it. Sammy ended up snogging Jess, and he married Ella and pied Whitney. Let me get into this quickly, because you guys already know how I've been feeling about Sammy, right? He's a very interesting character. Not really here for him too tough anyway. But he pied Whitney. First and foremost, I was even rating the fact that none of the guys pied Whitney because they rate her. And then he comes to do that. Let's start there. Number 2, he was pieing Whitney. What did he say again? He based it on the recoupling, saying that, you know, I think Whitney one time voted for them being least compatible, something like that. And I'm just thinking, well then, babe, when you're out of the villa, make sure you pie every single person you see on the road, because we all voted for you and just being the least compatible. It's not just Whitney. Let's make it make sense. Okay, thank you. Of course, oh, also as well, when Sammy was snogging, what's it called, Jess, he was just like, oh, the public or so and so have said this, but look at us now. Where are you guys? What do you mean look at us now, as if there's been growth? You guys have been having the same conversation since you started talking, which was weeks ago in this villa. Let's be very guided right now, babe. It's not making sense. And Lachlan ended up snogging Whitney, marrying Molly, which was very interesting. Didn't really get that one. And also ended up pieing Kady. Now let's move into the girls round. So Molly ended up snogging Zach, marrying Lachlan, and pieing Mitch. No surprise there. I won't lie, her pie to Mitch was actually quite good. It looked like she was going to pie Sammy, and then she went that way and then went that way, which was quite good, I won't lie. Jess ended up snogging Sammy, marrying Lachlan, and also pieing Mitch. Mitch literally got pied by everyone, but anyway. Ella B ended up snogging Sammy because he's her homeboy from Kent. I didn't even know she was from Kent, because that means she's from my ends as well, but interesting. She married Josh, and then she pied Mitch, but she said that if she had another chance, she could have also pied Tyreek as well, because you acted like this and that, and you were flirting with me. And I honestly just had to say, I need Ella to rest. It's actually okay. Tyreek is living in your head rent-free. Rest. Okay, babe, thank you. Of course, Whitney ended up snogging Lachlan. She married Bobby Pins, and she pied Zach. Now, when Whitney pied Zach, guys, I was really confused. I can't lie, because she pied Zach, and then she was like, because he takes the easy way out. And literally everyone was like, huh? what? Huh? Like, Whitney, what do you mean by that? She went back to the girls and they were literally just like, Whitney, what exactly do you mean by that? And she was just like, don't worry guys, I'll tell you later. Zach then, and this is the thing, right? You guys say I shouldn't say certain things, but number one, it's my review, and number two, I have to say it because would Zach have spoken to anyone else like that? I don't think so. So why did he have so much mouth for Whitney? It's not making sense. Whitney was like, Zach, what did you say? Because he was just mumbling, talking like, oh, what do you mean? And then he was like, oh, shut up, Whit, huh? Do you not know that anyone who beefs Whitney goes home? Babe, I don't think people understand how, like, these islanders need to understand how the public think. Anyone who beefs Whitney, all of Whitney's ops are back home. Okay? Zach, you could easily be next, all right? The attitude that he had for Whitney, very unhinged and very uncalled for, okay? I'm very sorry, but we would also get into the reason why Whitney ended up doing that later on as well, because I won't lie, even I was a bit confused as well. Now let's move on to Ella. Ella ended up snogging Tyreek, marrying Lachlan, and pieing Bobby Pins. Kady ended up snogging Zach, and Molly was like, what exactly are they playing at? Because now that means that Kady has snogged Zach, and Zach has also snogged Kady. So she's thinking, is there something going on that I do not know about? Of course, Zach ended up smiling. And I won't lie guys, Zach is very similar to me because I smile in awkward situations. It's just a coping mechanism. I mean, I can be serious sometimes, but not all the time. But of course, Zach ended up smiling and literally putting his head down, and she was like, oh, he's still smiling. Oh my God, look at him, guys. Guys, look at him. He's still smiling. He's still smiling. Zach was there, still laughing. He's just like, oh my gosh, oh, yeah. But Zach, I'm still not going to let you off easy because you literally told Whitney to shut up. Unprovoked as well. Anyway, Kady also ended up marrying Bobby Pins and also pieing Ty. Uzi did say in his confessionals as well though that he did think kissing Zach was very weird, because I think she said she snogged him because she likes the kisses when they were in a couple, and that's a bit muggy considering I'm in a couple with you and this is someone you were in a couple with, so why exactly are you kissing him? And then he did say he feels mugged off, but they also have a conversation about it after. Abby ended up snogging Scott, pieing Mitch for playing two girls, and he was like, oh, you done it first. It was definitely given double standards, because even as that she was walking back to the girls were like, oh well, she's doing it better. So it's almost like, don't get me wrong, I know Mitch is a very interesting character, but they are literally doing the same thing, so just hold each and every one of them accountable as they should be. But Amber now came and kissed. I even forgot, guys, I won't lie, I forgot Amber was in the villa. I'm telling you, they need to send this teenager home. I genuinely forgot she was in the villa. Well, I genuinely thought this the challenge ended, and then she walked in and she was just like, I'm snogging this. I was shocked. Amber, you're still here. Well done, okay? Amber ended up kissing Scott on the cheek, kind of pecked him to be honest. She ended up marrying Lachlan and she pied Mitch twice, literally with 2 pies. I won't lie, I do feel like, number one, yeah. Anyway, I do feel like Mitch definitely got the most pies out of all the guys, and number two, Lachlan clearly treats Whitney very well, because all of them were speaking about how much he treats Whitney like a princess and like a queen and all that good stuff. So that was quite cute. But yeah guys, that was the Snog, Marry and Pie game. So let's move on to the aftermath. A few conversations took place before night time, starting off with the guys. Zach was talking about the whole Molly situation, like, oh, like I feel like I'm gonna start, or whatever, but we'll get into that later because they end up having another convo. Mitch was talking to the guys about how he feels like him and Jess were really close and she doesn't understand why she ended up pieing him. And then with the girls talking, Ella B was saying that she's a bit confused for Mitch kissing her, and then Abby was just like, yeah, like I'm a bit confused because he's doing this to you, and the thing is, don't get me wrong, I do understand that Mitch is playing a very interesting game, but I feel like, maybe because I'm just not really here for Abby's character too tough, but I feel like the way Abby is kind of like addressing it is almost just like, yeah, like he's this type of person, and he's that, but you're also very interesting as well. Do you get where I'm coming from? So this is what I mean, like, they just need to wrap up the entire storyline, because I'm just so kind of like over it with her little 2 pence that she's throwing in every sentence. Molly was saying that him kissing, it's not him, sorry, Zach kissing Kady was mad, and also Kady kissing him back. Is there something that she needs to know about because it touched a nerve? But like we said, we're going to have a conversation about that at the end of this review anyway. Whitney was also talking to Zach about the situation, and talking about Zach, sorry, to the girls about the situation and why she ended up pieing him. And Kady said that she isn't going to pull Zach for a chat, but she does still fancy him, and they feel like there was a conversation that they should have had. And I do have to agree, I won't lie, I feel like Zach and Kady were in an okay-ish place before Molly was forced onto us for a second time. And I don't know if the producers have missed it out, but we haven't actually seen them have a conversation about like it fully, if that makes sense. I know they spoke after Casa, but I mean, like, I don't feel like they were even given the opportunity to develop anything if they wanted to, because Molly came back. So I won't lie, if they were still fancying each other, I would get it. Now let's move on to the night time. Sorry guys, my camera is already at 20 minutes and that is because it was a long episode. So let's move on to night time. We'll start off with the first couple of conversations. So Mitch and Ellaby were talking about him saying that he was going to cut things off and done the complete opposite, and he said he doesn't want to graft, and she said, listen, he doesn't want to graft Abby, and she said, you're going to have to graft for me. And she also said, listen babe, because I'm not short of options in this villa. You kind of are, because I don't know who else is in this villa. But anyway, truth of the matter is once again, like I did say, I don't think Ellaby is as interested in Mitch anyway, but she does have to try and I guess hold on to someone, because the options in the villa that she seems to be speaking about are very slim. Okay, very, very, very slim. Let's move on to Zach talking to the guys that this is the first time he just wants to sort things out with his girl and he feels like an idiot, etc, etc. My thing is, it was genuinely a game, and yeah, he could have just pulled Molly for a chat and just said what he needed to say. He does end up doing it later on anyway, and nothing really gets resolved, but we know she's going to go back to him anyway, but we'll get into that shortly too. Molly was talking to Kady and Whitney about the situation after the snogging, and she asked Kady if Zach has been giving her the eyes. Now Kady ended up pausing, and for me it was just Kady being messy, because Zach has not even blinked in your direction. Unless I've missed something. I haven't seen Zach flirt with Kady. You've been very much okay bobby pins. He's been very much in his corner of Molly. There have been little to no interactions between you two, unless the producers are missing things out. So I feel like Kady was just silent and giving eyes just because she wanted to kind of like create some tension, or maybe make Molly feel like, oh yeah, by the way, there is still potentially something there. And she did also make a very cheeky comment. She was just like, listen, I'm never going to say never, because you know how situations are in this villa. But the truth is, we are literally 6 weeks in. I really do not see Kady and Zach all of a sudden creating something or a situation with each other. So Kady was definitely doing that to try and rattle our good sis. Now of course Whitney, guys, Whitney is absolutely hilarious. So Whitney said that to Molly, like, I really like you and Zach together, but I just sometimes feel like he chooses the easy route. He usually goes for headstrong girls, and that was pretty much her reasoning. I won't lie, if someone said that to me about my man, I have to throw up in my face. I have to actually throw up, because Whitney basically called her a weak woman, okay? And what made me laugh was, I think at the end, Molly was like, thanks for letting me know, Whitney. She was like, don't worry, babes. I was thinking, the shade. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but that is very interesting to say to a girl about how her man feels about her. I'm sorry, that was absolutely hilarious. Let's move on to Mitch, of course, pulling Abby for a chat. I guess they were having closure. The truth is, Mitch is very confused, and that's okay. We've definitely established that. I am very happy that Abby kind of like closed it off before he was even starting to talk and do his rubble and his nonsense or whatever. Abby pretty much shut him down. So I guess they low-key did have closure from the situation. But at the same time, Mitch is very unhinged. So I won't be surprised if this situation arises again before the end of the week. And I also won't be surprised if Abby, you know, Abby and Mitch get back together, because I just don't know how I feel about her and Scott. It just seems a bit forced, and I don't really know why. Let's move on to Uzi and Kady having a little conversation. He was saying that he feels like he was really mugged off with the entire kiss situation. And of course, what was quite funny was like Uzi was pretty much kind of telling her how he feels, sorry, and then she was just like, oh really, the guy is upset. Okay, I'm so confused. What do you mean, oh really, is that how you really feel? Oh okay. Well, they ended up having a little pep to kind of like sort it out, I guess. I don't even know. Let's wrap it up, okay? But that was just a little situ there. At the end of the day, I won't be surprised. I mean, if I really like you and things are going well, like I said, play the game right. You're supposed to snog who you are with. Common sense, Kady. You've been on this season twice. I like you've been here before. Now, let's move on to Molly and Zach. So Molly and Zach were talking, and of course she was like, listen, babe, I'm just a bit confused. And you guys know Zach is very awkward. So Zach started laughing, and she was like, you know, I do feel really mugged off. And then she ended up walking away, and Zach just couldn't stop giggling and also smiling. Once again, I do feel like it probably is a coping mechanism for just being awkward, because I do as well. But there are some times where you do need to be serious. I mean, someone is in front of you upset and you're here giggling, I might have to punch you twice. Sorry guys, I shouldn't have said that. I'm not even a violent person, so I don't know why I just said that. Anyway, Molly decided to go and speak to the girls, and Zach was talking to Mitch about the entire situation. He was like, I've been with her since day 4, whatever that means, but he was just like, I've been with her, blah 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 blah, taking advice from Mitch, which is very interesting how the tables have turned. Okay, so of course they're now having a conversation, all the girls and Molly, and then Zach walks over to her and was just like, because I don't know what you girls are trying to feed her. First and foremost, I don't know what that comment is. it's not making any sense whatsoever. At the end of the day, she's upset. She tries to, and I feel like some guys do this a lot. You upset your girl, you don't communicate with her. Do you want her to hold everything in and just die? Like, I don't, that's honestly how dramatic it is, because you want her to keep in all of this until you're ready to speak to her. Sometimes a girl needs to speak to her friends, just as the honest truth. So when Zach was walking up like, oh, it's because I don't know what you guys are feeding her, I have to slap you twice. That one I can do. I don't punch people, but I can slap you. Okay? I can actually slap you twice. Of course, he now said, oh yeah, by the way, so Ella was like, what do you mean feed her? Ella 1, like, what do you mean feed her? We're just talking. And then he kept walking off. Should I say this? Yeah, I'm going to say this. Zach will not have mouth for Ella because he knows Tyreek will put him in his place. Clearly. Because I don't understand. You have very certain energies for certain people in the villa. It makes absolutely no sense, alright? Let's keep that energy on 100 for everyone, or let's keep it on 0 for everyone. How about that, babe? Alright, thank you. Now, of course, they ended up having a conversation and he was like, it's just a game and you're the only one that I want. And that he feels like he shouldn't have done what he done, i.e. kissing Kady. And she said the difference is that there's no one else in this video that I would want to kiss, and you can't have both ways, Zach. He was then talking about, oh, if I play the game literally, I play the game literal. The truth of the matter is, I feel like they could have wrapped up that storyline, only because I know Molly's going to go back to him anyway. Like I said, we're 6 weeks in. Do I say I side with Zach? Not 100%, because I do feel like you need to play the game right, aka you snog the person you're with. But just so everyone can be at peace, snog the person that you are with. It makes perfect sense. But also at the same time, I do feel like with Molly coming back into the villa for the second time, he wasn't really even given the chance to explore things with Kady, even if he wanted to again. And yeah, just kind of over it. I feel like I'm quite ready for quite a few of them to go home. But it's very interesting to see that there was, I guess, a plot twist with the whole Molly and Zach situ, because people have been saying that they had been coasting quite smoothly to the finals, and this kind of, I guess, put a spanner in the works. Of course, we ended up getting a little preview of tomorrow. I won't lie, when Rita Ora was walking in, I 100% thought she was a bombshell, because she was walking in slowly, the hair was doing this and this. I said, is that a new bombshell? Then she turned around. I tweeted, oh, Rita Ora, question mark, and my friend actually tweeted that they blew their budget on Neo. Very interesting. Rita Ora does have some decent tunes, but I just don't really listen to her as an artist. And of course, we also got a glimpse of Maya Jama walking into the villa to reveal the news and I guess the votes of what we voted for when we voted for our favourite couple in the villa. So hopefully a dumping is going to come soon. And you guys know, like I said, we're 6 weeks in, so let's start wrapping things up. Also, it has been rumoured that 3 new bombshells are entering the villa. All 3 of the bombshells are actually very good looking, so it makes me wonder, why are Love Island producers wasting cast members that could possibly come and rattle things so close to the end of the season? Because the bombshells are actually bombshelling from what I saw from the pictures. But yeah, guys, a very long review. My camera is flashing, so I really hope you guys did enjoy this review. As always, please let me know down below what you actually thought of tonight's episode. But other than that, I'm going to take a sip because I've actually been talking. Yeah, other than that, guys, please have a lovely evening. If you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. But I love you guys so much. Please take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow.